Okay, ZANU-PF succession war escalates. Chiwenga faction faces major setback as controversial bill clears parliament, right? Mrezimbabwe, welcome back pamzinda yobanhu pa Inside Africa Network or utuna pa the Mtapa Times pa YouTube. So let's go. The bitter battle to succeed President Emerson Mnangagwa has entered a dangerous new phase following a major legislative victory for the president's faction, leaving the rival faction led by Vice President Constantino Chiwenga back at the drawing board. So the political shift follows the successful passage of the controversial Constitutional Amendment Bill number 3, Cap 3 of 2026 through Zimbabwe's parliament. The bill, which critics slam as an unconstitutional maneuver to extend Mnangagwa's rule by an additional 2 years, secured more than 80% of the vote. Political commentators note that the Mnangagwa faction's victory relied heavily on the Sabanu factor, a reference to aligned MPs crossing floor lines to bridge the legislative gap. Reports from inside the capital allege that heavy financial incentives were deployed to secure the overwhelming majority. Threats of serious consequences unheeded. The passage of the bill is a severe blow to the Chiwenga camp. In the days leading up to the vote, Chiwenga's faction, speaking through Representative Knox Chiwero, publicly warned lawmakers against participating in what they labeled an illegal process. Chiwero explicitly cautioned MPs that there would be serious consequences and potential casualties for anyone willfully aiding Mnangagwa's bid for extended power. The faction had also pinned its hopes on a constitutional court challenge meant to halt the bill, an outcome Chiwero had boldly predicted to the public. However, the court did not intercede, and parliamentarians ignored the faction's warnings. Observers described the atmosphere in the capital following the vote as somber rather than celebratory, drawing comparisons to the bittersweet aftermath of disputed national elections. Mnangagwa has demonstrated beyond any reasonable doubt to Chiwenga that he is ready for confrontation. Noted an analyst here in Zimbabwe, Mnangagwa has demonstrated that he is, without any reasonable doubt, he is ready for Chiwenga. Right? True to Jim Zimbabwe. Just like modern Sutwana, right on Mnangagwa, as of right now, everything shows with all the warnings Zamaka Komana. Bring it. Ndripo. Wisai, kana mchitaura chimoto wisai. Ndi Mnangagwa, those are kuita. Because waita everything. He have crossed every line right now. But takamira kuno saina chinu chacha into law. So, the rest is far from over. Despite the legislative setback for the military backed Chiwenga faction, despite the legislative setback for the military-backed Chiwenga faction, political insiders emphasize that the battle for ZANU-PF control is far from resolved. Cap 3 remains a bill and must undergo further processing. Parliament is temporarily adjourned, giving both factions a brief window before proceedings resume on July 7, 2026. During this intermission, the bill must still navigate the Senate, return to Parliament for final checks, and ultimately be signed into law by President Mnangagwa himself. The Chiwenga faction is expected to use this recess to regroup and target the Senate vote, where the Mnangagwa faction will once again need to secure a commanding majority. While Mnangagwa currently holds the upper hand by commanding key state institutions, political observers warn against counting out the retired military generals who orchestrate the Chiwenga faction's strategy. As the succession crisis deepens, the multi-round fight for the future of Zimbabwe's leadership remains highly volatile. So, mune Zimbabwe, those rukuitika right now, what will Chiwenga and this faction do is the question in Zimbabwean West. But we'll be watching the space. Changechi Kupai is also even my inside information from my military guys, what's happening. So stay tuned. Thank you for watching. Ndinu wenyu super Nexus. Peace.